Every piece of media out there has that one familiar face that stands out when it comes to marketing. For DC, it's Superman and Batman. For Marvel, it's Spider-Man. For the WWE right now, it's Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. When we look at each Ben 10 series, there was a top dog. For the OG series, it was Heat Blast and Forearms, Alien Force, Swampfire, Ultimate Alien, Humongous Sword, and Ultimate Humongous Sword. And an Omniverse with the G known as Feedback. Feedback is one of the most underrated aliens in this series and the most popular alien from the Omniverse squad other than the homie Gravitack. So in today's video, we're going to be going over the time Feedback delivered one of the rawest returns of all time and proceeded to defeat the elite hacker known as Malware. Let's get right on with the video. Omniverse Ben walks in and sees Azmuth talking with 11-year-old Ben. And y'all are probably wondering how Ben got himself in this position. Well, the homie was dealing with the elite hacker known as Malware, and during their fight, he was absorbed inside his body. Yeah, the menace Malware straight up pulled a Majin Buu absorbing technique on Ben. It was straight foul, and that somehow allowed Ben to activate this memory of his. Azmuth asks about the status of the Omnitrix in hopes that 11-year-old Ben hasn't done any heinous stuff to his invention, which leads to Ben sarcastically saying, "No, I guess not." The young goat was down bad here. Azmuth tells Ben that he's gained a lot of W's in the short time of carrying the Omnitrix, and Ben is like, so what? Azmuth follows up by saying, you don't learn anything by winning all the time, and I felt that, to be honest, man. I took some fat L's recently, y'all, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm back on my feet on the grind again. Sometimes life pushes you into a certain angle and you gotta find a way to propel yourself out of it. That's what evolution is all about as a human being. 16-year-old Ben, watching the scene before him, was like, hold up, Azmuth is speaking some gospel right now. 11-year-old Ben looks back to Azmuth as the genius tells Ben that losing Feedback must have been hard for him to deal with. And for those unaware, Feedback was Ben's favorite alien when he turned 11 years old. Some folks are probably gonna bring up Forearms, and yeah, Forearms was Ben's favorite alien at one point in time, but as a 10-year-old kid. Once Ben unlocked Feedback, the young goat dropped Forearms like a sack of potatoes and started spamming Feedback everywhere, like those certain gamers who always pick the same fighter in an online throwdown. Feedback was the go-to alien for 11-year-old Ben until he was packed up to the afterlife by Malware. I know the Feedback haters enjoyed this L of his too. Anyways, 11-year-old Ben answers yes and tells Azmuth that Feedback was a part of him and it felt like he lost something special. I mean, hey, he still got the cousin Bush Hawk around, am I right? Azmuth tells 11-year-old Ben that he can let that one L define him, or he can learn from the lesson and come back to laying smackdowns on all future villains. The choice is his. 11-year-old Ben pulls up to 16-year-old Ben and asks him if he learned from the lesson. 16-year-old Ben was like, hold up, you can see me? And 11-year-old Ben pressed on with a question. 16-year-old Ben realized that beating himself up wasn't going to take him anywhere in life and forgave himself for losing Feedback. The G straight up said he's having the beatdowns for the bad guys. And yeah, you already know Ben Tennyson is about to lock in like crazy. Ben shakes hands with his past self and the Omnitrix goes off in that same time frame. Oh yeah, Buddy's about to come back busted as ever. Meanwhile, Malware was continuing his diabolical rampage on Galvan Prime. This menace was exhibiting the same twisted traits as Voldemort. Somebody gotta put him down already. Malware walks up closer to the center of Galvan Prime with a plan of deleting Kevin and everyone there once and for all. Now y'all, we must get ready to talk about one of the greatest moments of Omniverse as a blast came out of Malware's dome. Like, look at that sensational beam. Out here looking like a Kamehameha wave. You gotta love it. 2 hands pop out of the hole from the blast as the certified him blaster Feedback arrives on the scene, shocking the homie Kevin. Kevin was like, hey yo, what you doing, my guy? Kevin is for real like the best character in this series. Bro has way too many legendary scenes. The next scene was just as good though. Like, look at the certified G Feedback, standing tall with that smile of his. Ben knows he's about to go off on Malware in the same way Steph Curry did during the 2024 Olympics. Ben tells everyone hey and asks if they missed him. Why is Feedback so raw in the shot? One thing you're gonna know about me is I'm a Feedback and Gravitack Glazer. The rest of the Omniverse aliens I don't care for that much, but these two, they are them. Just saying. Malware realized the Dragon Ball Z absorbing technique he watched on YouTube didn't work well for him and tried swiping at Ben with his hand. Ben was like, yeah, no buddy, and jumped off the dome of Malware and safely dropped himself down with his electrical beams. Y'all see the way my homie Feedback styled on Malware right there? I see why Malware wanted this guy packed up so badly. Feedback even made sure to pull off a superhero pose too. Got Superman, Iron Man, and Luffy. Shit, everyone who ever did this pose. Proud as hell for that post up. Feedback stands up and Malware was like, a conductoid. Didn't I already turn you into an Infinity War death simulation? Well shit, I packed you up to the afterlife once and I can do it again. My guy, like a true arc villain, even boasted about being 100 times more powerful, and you would think that villains like Malware will learn not to say stuff like this because it never ages well at all for them. Just look at Doflamingo, Thanos, and Shredder for example. Malware fires a red blast at Ben, and look at this man's grin. Bro is not even phased at all from the 10x Kamehameha flying towards him as Ben uses his antennas to absorb the blast into them. People who can absorb projectiles and power and media are a different level of broken, man. Ben understands why he loved feedback so much because of his busted absorbing capabilities. I don't blame the GOAT one bit. If I had access to feedback, I'd be spamming this too, though Chroma Stone is right there too. Ben proclaims that feedback rules, and yes he does, as Ben finishes taking in the blast and redirects the Dragon Ball Z-like beam towards Malware. Malware was like, shit, maybe I shouldn't have spoken so much trash earlier, and tried blocking the attack with his forearm, resulting in him screaming like a 1940s cartoon villain. Ben and his homie Kevin both looked up like, it's gonna take more than that, huh? Feedback shoots himself up in the air like Bakugu. Still can't believe the series is over, by the way. And Malware, seeing this, immediately launches his hand at Ben. His menace tries taking Ben out with a G-lightened swing. Ben lands on Malware's arm and begins powering his beams on the villain's arms. Malware tries swatting Ben like a housefly. Luckily, Ben jumps before he can land on him. And look at this shot right here. Malware is looking at Ben like, just because you're in your Olympics 2024 Steph Curry era, that doesn't mean you're gonna pack me up. And I'm here like, Malware, you for sure are being packed up because Ben is out here climbing on your body like he's facing off against one of those bosses from Dragon's Doma. Like, you're done, buddy. Feedback fires another blast at Malware, but a giant villain isn't having it at all and fires his red beam at Ben, resulting in Kevin being hit. Come on, Kevin, and resulting in Ben falling into the water.
A few moments later.
Ben gets out of the water and talks about how he needs to apply more damage to Malware before he transforms back to normal. Ben looks up and sees a bunch of upgrades falling from the sky. We got upgrade rain now. This is crazy. The upgrades land on Malware, resulting in his larger body being broken down to the point where he was back to his normal form. Still an ugly ass mechamorph, by the way. Ben talks about how there has to be a way to defeat Malware once and for all, and Azmuth pulls up with a busted device. Azmuth is like that one NPC you meet in video games to meet or teach you some broken shit to use against the final villain. Sensational. Mechamorph jump Malware, which causes the lunatic to flee away from their well-planned jumping coalition. Ben realizes that the mechamorphs falling from the sky was Azmuth's doing, and Azmuth explains that once the helixes were repaired, it was simple to revive the mechamorphs, and tells the certified G feedback there's still plenty of energy for him to use. Azmuth is the OG. Let's put some respect on him. Malware jumps from pillar to pillar like a hostile chimp as he realizes what Ben is trying to do. However, it was too late for this bum as Ben hooked his antennas into the helix to absorb the energy. And my guy's face here. Malware knows he's done for good. Malware, like a pissed off gamer, curses at Ben Tennyson for being one of those main characters who always comes back from a major L as he got ready to perform another cyborg cannon blast. Feedback posted up too with his electrical beams. And do you see how fire Feedback looks here? The Omniverse team made sure Feedback was looking like a generational talent this entire episode. Malware fires his GT Kamehameha again, while Ben fires his another blast at Malware. The next scene was so cool, so much for the Dragon Ball Z blast charging at each other in Dragon Ball Z. Feedback's blast overrides Malware's aim in this man's face. Malware realized he was not built for the prestige talent of Feedback and got cooked by the blast. Malware got cooked so badly by Feedback's blast that he was out here looking like Margaretti and the girls from Amazon Lily of One Piece, man. This was crazy, but oh man. Feedback's return is probably one of the most iconic moments in Ben 10, bro. I don't know if Omniverse is still like hated on today. I don't know if it's still popular to hate Omniverse now, but if it is, y'all give it a rest, bro. It's been almost 11 years. Feedback is him, just like how Swampfire is him of Alien Force, and Ultimate Alien, you got Humongosaur, Ultimate Humongosaur, and Ultimate Echo that were the certified G's of that series, and the OD series with Heat Blast, Forearms, Diamond Head, and Accelerate. But Feedback, put some respect on him, man. Like, he came in here with that Steph Curry aura from the 2024 Olympics, and he just laid the smack down on Malware, bro. He was grinning like Doflamingo because he knew once he pulled up to the scene that he was clapping Malware, and there was nothing for Malware to do. When he fought Feedback as an 11-year-old, Feedback was like, what, an 89 overall talent at the time? Now he came back as a 99 overall talent. Screw it, 100 overall talent. Feedback was him, and he cooked Malware, man. But this returning phase was kind of spoiled a little bit because I think there was one episode that aired where they just had Feedback transformed, but no, where they just had Ben transformed as Feedback. I don't know what was up with the airing back then, but it kind of ruined his return. But either way, Feedback versus Malware here in Showdown, one of the best fights. Like, Feedback, he had that same energy as an anime main character, you feel me? Like, he pulled up like Frieza Saga Goku, he pulled up like Enies Lobby Luffy, you feel me? Soul Society, Ichigo. He pulled up like all of them, and and let me not forget Naruto when he pulled up on Pain and Shippuden. He had that same aura as them, and he cooked Malware. But you guys let me know your thoughts on feedback. Do you like him? Because I know a whole lot of people like him, and I know a whole lot of people hate him. The people that hate him are Omniverse haters and Chromastone G's. And I understand the Chromastone G's. Chromastone is very underrated. He deserved more. But, you know, feedback is still him as well. But you guys let me know your thoughts on this fight here. We got the Certified Baddies video coming out. You guys voted for Elite Haters Part 2, so we're going to be doing that one too. Though that one's going to take some time to do, like Certified Baddies. But I'm still going to be doing that for y'all. If y'all enjoyed the video, consider hitting the like button and subscribe to the channel. I also got an Instagram now. Y'all want to follow on there. We're growing on Instagram. That's cool to see. You can find it in the link on the main channel. As always, y'all, I hope y'all have a nice week, and I'll catch y'all for the next video. VoroAMI out.